What is the status of the State Department's Office of the Coordinator for Afghan Relocation Efforts? Do you expect that program, under the auspices of the regional desk, will continue moving forward? Okay. Do you see has there been any discussion of changes to the actual approval of visas for Afghanistan interpreters and others that helped us during the Afghanistan war moving forward, or do you see the program largely continuing as is?
As you can tell, there are both Republicans and Democrats that care about this issue. So can you reveal who the coordinator is?
So the functions for the CARE office have moved to the South Central Asia Bureau at the Department of State.
Right.
And and to the
but that doesn't answer the question about who the person is, who the coordinator is, because there's a difference between a person who's doing the work and a function. I know you folding everything into everything. It's like origami. But how come we don't know? How come you can't tell us? How come you won't tell us who the coordinator is? I would be interested. I think many of us would be interested in what that person is doing and have them answer some questions that we have, both Republicans and Democrats, about what's going on with our Afghan allies. Because I ask this because on Friday, you fired the entire CARE leadership team. So anyone who would have had the experience and the expertise to efficiently manage Afghan relocations, which is complicated, and Secretary Rubio came in here and we know he's doing 14 jobs. I do not think you should be giving 14 jobs to the 12 people that are left in the State Department who are handling such a complicated issue. So we have had we know that the CARE leadership team has been fired. We know that the CARE office has lost over 30 people since the beginning of the administration. And we know that does not give you the capacity that you need to sustain the same pace of processing. And then on top of that, the administration is trying to terminate temporary protective status for Afghans living in the United States. So they're going to lose their work authorization, and then they're going to be deported back to Afghanistan, where the Taliban is waiting to get them. And these are people who actually work to protect U.S. service members overseas. I bring it up because everyone wants to, last Congress, we had a hearing every week talking about Afghanistan. And now, very hard to get people to come and talk about Afghanistan and what is happening to our allies. And we are doing a disservice to our U.S. service members, because what other country is going to say, I'm going to be willing to stick out my people's neck to help you, when you're then going to sell my people down the river or back to the exact same people who are waiting to kill them? The second part of this is, do you know what Camp Asalia is?
I do not know what Camp Asalia is.
So the camp is a U.S. facility in Doha where 1,500 Afghan refugees are waiting to be resettled. And the administration is considering closing down the camp and then forcibly repatriating these Afghans who have been in limbo in this facility waiting for years. They're going to repatriate them back to Afghanistan, back into the hands of the Taliban. So the question I asked you in the beginning about the U.S. upholding its commitment to protecting these people who risk their lives to protect us, we have got to do better. And that's on you. That's the responsibility of you. That's the responsibility of the State Department. And I sent a letter to the chair of this committee asking us to continue to ask questions about this. And I'm going to continue to ask questions about this because it's about our credibility. You ain't talking about trade, you ain't talking about aid, you're talking about reneging on your credibility to make sure that our service members are protected when they go overseas to fight for us. And with that, Mr. Chair, I thank you for giving me extra time, and I yield back.
Chair now recognizes Representative Johnson.
I'm going to take on a personal issue. This has been of particular interest to me, that following the Biden administration's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan is the treatment of our Afghan allies. Again, these are Afghans who have risked their lives and their families' lives to serve alongside the U.S. Armed Forces for years, thus saving countless American lives along the way. I know the chairman has had personal experience on this. I've said this on many occasions that we must uphold that sacred commitment that we've made to them, and I believe these brave Afghanis who have undergone rigorous vetting processes that have been required and properly so are welcome into my neighborhood and my state anytime. Can you give me a quick update on the status of the U.S. Department of State's Office of Coordinator for Afghan Relocation Effort?
I want to take just a moment to tack on to what Representative Kamala was talking about, because I was just in the Homeland Security hearing before this, talking about Afghanistan and this very issue about all these Afghan folks who risk their lives in service of our military while in Afghanistan, and all their losing of their temporary protected status benefits. And I would just like to echo her concerns, Mr. Chairman, about how unconscionable it is that we're turning our back on this group of people who risk their lives for our military. And Mr. Secretary, I would love for you to take these concerns that we're having about the fact that you're closing the care office, you're closing the support for this as just a dereliction of the United States duty. It's a breach of promises. It's a breach of agreements. And